Well, you guys know where we're at. We're at the Golden Spike Historical Site. But this is a pretty big place. We've been in it for a couple of miles now. It's actually bigger. It's not just like some railroad station, right? So the scenery here is pretty outstanding. I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can see it on the way in. This is amazing. Holy cow. And anyway, let me just turn it around so you guys can see it. Amazing, isn't it? Wow. I do all kind of fancy camera tricks, but I'm driving at the same time. You can turn your back around so you can see the front. I like this state. I like this landscape. Like a little house on the prairie. Finally made it to the visitor center. Sharon's over there reading about buffalo. We'll do that some other time. A lot of cool stuff here to see at the visitor center. The Golden Spike National Historic Park. We'll do all that after that because the trains, there's two different trains, the Jupiter and I think they call it the 109. They'll be here between 10 and then the second one arrives at 10:30. They're in Promontory, Utah, where they met. So let's go check this place out and get ready for the trains. I got a nice gift store and everything here. Rangers are super cool. And we're gonna go out back and wait for the trains to get here. Would you say the Jupiter's first and then the 109 comes afterwards?
Yeah, Jupiter is at 10 and the 119 at 10:30.
Perfect. So we're gonna go watch it. And this is a pretty cool, I didn't even know this place existed until we found it, right?
Excellent. Spontaneous trip.
Pretty cool. We gotta head over there to where they do a ranger talk and everything over there for the when the trains come in and everything. And this gift shop, not only a gift shop, but they have movies, they have a lot of displays, a lot of the history of this whole event. Pretty cool. I didn't even know this park existed, but it's, you know, it's pretty cool. Pretty dang cool. History is amazing. Look at this. Look right down the tracks. Nice. What you got over here, Sharon? Some more display.
Talking about the commercial.
Yeah, this whole place is full of these little placards. Pretty cool history that most people don't, one, maybe not even know about, and two, don't remember if you did know about it. So this is phenomenal. They've got us park here like this.
Pacific locomotive Jupiter. To ensure the safe arrival, please do not place any objects on the track. Stay back at least 15 feet to avoid the scalding steam, and listen to the ranger for further instructions. Thank you.
Are you going to kick us off of this rail here?
I am just.
I knew it. I knew it. While we're waiting for the train, we're waiting for the Jupiter to get here. This is the location of the actual spike in 1869. If you guys can see that plaque, I'll take a better picture of it.
And you are here for the arrival of the locomotive Jupiter. Before we get started this morning, a couple of safety reminders for us. So it was 1861 that our nation began its bitter Civil War. And in 1862, Abraham Lincoln signs the Pacific Railway Act. Now, Lincoln had been a supporter of railroads prior to his presidency, and not only did he see this as a means to increase our economic station as a country, but also as a means to guarantee a Union win for the war. It was 1863 that the Central Pacific started to break ground on the Transcontinental Railroad, and the Central Pacific was the first to do so. The Union Pacific actually didn't lay its first track until 1865, quite a bit later. And so you are here at Promontory Summit, although some of you might have learned that the building of the Transcontinental was completed at Promontory Point. I apologize. It wasn't Promontory Point. Promontory Point exists, but it's 40 miles south of here. You're actually in Promontory Summit. And the reason that some of us learned it incorrectly, not because our teachers failed us, but it was misreported back in 1869, and that error just kept being repeated. So Most likely, we did not arrive by covered wagon or horse this morning. That would have taken us much, much longer. If we were traveling from east to west, it would have taken us about 6 months to cross that distance and cost us about $1,000. But of course, with the finishing of the transcontinental, that drastically reduced both of those figures. It would have taken about 10 days. And as long as we were content with economy class, about $65. The original was. If you think about the resources available out west, not a whole lot of coal mines to be had out that direction, and so they used the resources that they had, which of course was timber. Now we have about 2 miles of track here at the park, and we do short little runs about 3 times a day. But if you ask the engineers how much wood they use for this Jupiter, it's about a quart of wood a day. So it's a very thirsty machine. Another thing to imagine is the entire state of California had a population back during this period of 300,000. Now 300,000 is a big number, but considering the population of California now, not a whole lot of people. So the Central Pacific had a hard time finding some folks to work on the railroad. They got, for the most part, some Civil War vets, but mostly Chinese immigrants. 90% of that labor force was Chinese. Now they had the daunting task of going through the Sierra Nevada mountains in the winter as well. So they had to blast without any power tools, mind you, through that solid granite. And they averaged about 8 inches a day progress.
Wow.
Some pretty hefty incentives for building as fast as they could, as far as they could. So not only were they given some land grants, but also they were paid by the mile. So those railroad graders would work ahead of the track layers. And so for every mile of grade that they would build, they were given a partial payment. So you can imagine, you've got the Central Pacific from this direction building this way, Union Pacific from that direction building this way.
Here she comes.
Both companies building toward each other, and they see each other actually. They're pretty close. And they say, well, we could join the track right now, or since we're getting paid by the mile for the grade, why don't we just keep building? So they built past each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
Both
really?
companies, for about 250 miles.
Oh, wow.
Before the government said, okay guys, we need to finish this railroad.
Here's the Jupiter. Pretty cool. Now what they'll do is they back that one up and then bring it in so they meet each other right here in the middle.
Spot ended up, but we'll get to that later. But May 8th, it's Leland Stanford who's riding the Jupiter, and with him, the Golden Spike. Now that Golden Spike was not his idea, but his friend. His friend's name was David Hughes. He became his brother-in-law as well. And David said, I want you to have this Golden Spike, take it with you to this ceremony. So he commissioned this 17.6 karat gold spike, and he carries it with him here. Now in addition, there were 3 other precious metal spikes. There was a Nevada silver spike, there was a second golden spike given by the San Francisco Newsletter, and there was a composite spike from Arizona that was mostly iron, but dipped in gold, topped with, dipped in silver and topped with gold. So if you look at this tie here in the center, you'll see it has 4 pre-drilled holes in it. That's exactly what happened. California, pre-drilled 4 holes in it so that Leland Stanford and Thomas Durant could gently place those precious metal spikes in, give them a little tap, and pose for that picture. And then after the ceremony was over, all the spikes and the laurelwood tie went back home from wherever they came from.
Need you to move that.
Warrior.
Need you to move that.
Woo! All right, guys, we're gonna go get a closer look at the Jupiter. What a great presentation they do out here. Let's go check this thing out. For all you railroad buffs out here. Nice, look at this. They said that there's a stand in the back. Maybe we can get up on it, I'm not sure, but we're gonna find out. It's interesting, what they do is they lock the wheel down so it can't roll with a piece of chain. Pretty cool. This thing is a beautiful piece, and they use wood because that's what the resource they had back in the day. Look at that, huh, Sharon?
I know.
That is so pretty. I love all the gold leaf on it. All right, we'll come around this side. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of diatribe, but look at this, huh? Look how nice this is. This is so well done and well preserved and restored. Wow, amazing stuff, huh? We'll get some close-up shots of those front wheels and steam chambers and everything here in just a minute for you guys. Got lots of folks up there on the stand. We'll do that in a minute, but let's look at all this, how fine this is, you know? Look how nice this is. This is so beautiful. This is artwork, right? This is like when I look at the cars from the 30s and 40s, and I mean, they're more artwork and precision than they are car. And look at the machine work on this. Pretty crazy. Wow. My dad would be going haywire right now if he was still with us, because this is what he lived for. All right, let's go up here and look at where the engineers hang out. Get a better view of that. All right.
They had to get in their car and then drive down.
And go do the other one, right? Anyway, as you guys know, Dwight likes big things that do big work. I know this is a reproduction, but can you imagine? We're connecting the nation. You know what I mean? This is a big deal.
Especially after the Civil War.
Yeah, reconnecting the nation is mentally, physically. This is so crazy cool. Most of them probably knew what they were doing. I mean, what the historical value of what they were doing was. But at the end of the day, this is a big deal. This is a piece of history that probably some people don't even know about. And some people don't remember that we learned it in school, right?
This was a big part of really creating the United States as we know it. You know, prior to this, to get from the East Coast to West Coast, where they say it took about 6 months.
Yeah. Cost you about $1,000.
After this, 10 days.
10 days at $65, she said, right?
I know.
So, man, this is amazing. Hey guys, real quick. This is the location of the golden spike, but there was actually 4 spikes. A golden spike, a silver, Nevada silver spike, like an iron spike from Arizona, I think it was, and there was another one, I'm not sure. I'll look it up and I'll make sure you guys know it in the video. But these holes were pre-drilled, and so they could pop the spikes in there super easy when the trains got here.
But even then, the 2 gentlemen, was it Stanford? And then the other gentleman
from the east. Yeah.
Both of them missed it repeatedly. So finally the crew foreman had to go in and actually do it.
Now, one of the things that we can hear at the park from time to time, although we've got a little competition from the steam of the Jupiter, is the creaking of the rail underneath the weight of a 60-ton locomotive. So pretty nice. flag on this side of our visitor center is not the same as the one in front. The one in front is a 50-star flag. This one has 20 stars. Can anybody hazard a guess why we're flying a 20-star flag? Actually,
No, probably not.
37 states back in 1869. So it's kind of odd that we should be flying a 20-star flag. Well, here's why. I told you about the 2-day delay. Central Pacific in the crowd was here May 8th for the finishing of the Transcontinental, but they were waiting on the Union Pacific for 2 days. Okay? Well, among the crowd were reporters, photographers, government officials, bands, soldiers, and the like. But in spite of all that, and in spite of the 2-day wait, no one thought to bring an American flag to the ceremony.
Oh my gosh.
There was a soldier in the 21st Infantry who had an heirloom that he got from his father with him. And so that heirloom was a 20-star flag.
Check that out. That's so cool.
So if you're wondering, that dates back to 1819. So when these two companies came together and when this wedding reception was held on May 10th of 1869, a 50-year-old flag flung.
Nice. All right, the 119 here, the replica, is actually using coal because the other one was, the original one was converted. But this gentleman's up here busting up the coal so he can get into his firebox. Woo, getting shards of coal at us. Pretty cool. Okay, well, the Union Pacific's 119. If you notice how this and the Jupiter are painted up real nice. These are actual replicas, and a lot of what they got, all the information they got from reports of the day, photographs, the black and white photographs, and they have the companies that originally built the locomotives. They have their plans with their paint codes and everything on them. So it's pretty cool. As we walk around, the engineer's up there busting up the coal so he can get it into his fireboxes. Pretty cool. See if I can get a shot of that for us again from this side. Pretty cool. Yeah, he's up there busting up coal, getting into his firebox. Let's see if I can get my camera up in there and kind of show you guys what he's doing there. Nice. Pretty amazing, the engineering that goes into a steam locomotive, huh? So he's releasing some pressure somewhere. And we'll take a walk down the tracks and show you the rest of Big 119. Yeah, the machining of these things is amazing, right? Look at this.
Actually have to cart it in via a flat car in a water tank. So essentially the locomotive had to pull its own water to get
Yeah, the gentleman was just, the engineer was just telling us that the tank, the boiler, holds about 850 gallons, I believe he said. But the tender has onboard tanks as well, obviously right around here, that can hold about 2,000 gallons. And said along the lines he was just telling us, every about 10 miles.
120, 150 miles a day.
Yeah, he would say that about every 10 miles they had a water tank along the lines. And they could do about 30 miles on the amount of water they carried. And the coal could do, with the coal they carried, it could be about 120 miles total distance with the coal they carried.
40 miles an hour.